Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome to the weekly reading for Sunday, April 3rd through Saturday, April 9th. If you are new, I am Joyful Medium Joy Giovanni, and I help people step into love and out of overwhelm through readings and mediumship. And I hope you are having a happy April already. So let's get into it for the reading this week. I've already pre-shuffled the cards. This one wants to stay, so let's just put this to the side. So we're just going to pull some tarot here, and then we will take a look at some additional messages for us. So the general energy and potentials that we can expect this week. Okay, so we've got this Five of Wands in reversed. Now, if you look at this card, you can tell it is really a lot of unease, a lot of unrest, a lot of disagreement. But since this card is in reverse, it tells us the meaning's a little bit different. Now, this is a sense of, maybe we've been feeling really in the struggle, and this might be a temporary pause or a shifting of perspective. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Now, the card that crosses it here, or the one that is a challenge to whatever this is, to our peace, to our ending of struggle, Judgment. So it's interesting because, we do have a tendency to judge those outside of ourselves, to judge things on a global scale. So what's interesting for me is normally this is the card that blocks it, but I actually feel like this might be the card that helps us step more into this energy of laying down our weapons, if you will, coming to peace, stopping the struggle. Maybe we're going to come to clarity about some things that really help us step out of this struggle. Now, the Lovers upside down is also an interesting card. So sometimes the Lovers can be about relationships, as we've talked about in the past, but another very powerful meaning of this card is choice. And this is just letting me know that you might not feel like you have a choice in this matter. Whatever's going on, whatever you're facing this week might feel outside of what you have the ability to make conscious choices about. Now, we know that's never actually fully true, but maybe it's just something that's more global that's happening in the energy and potential that we either don't have a lot of choice about, or maybe don't like the choices as they're being presented to us. Maybe we have some judgment about what the choices are, or choices that others are making. What we have learned in the past, we've had some heartbreak in the past, all of us in our own ways. And so what we have learned is how to use our mind to heal our heart, if you will, and use our heart to heal our mind. So remembering times in the past when you maybe had a situation that didn't turn out how you expected and you felt heartbroken over it. But then with perspective, with time, with some clarity and good judgment, you realized maybe it was more of your own making, or more in your head than actual devastating heartbreak. That sometimes comes with perspective. So you learned lessons about this in the past that you will be able to apply this week. Now, the highest and greatest good is the Magician. And what I love about this card is it means that, you have the power on this journey. You have all the tools that you need already. You have the intuition, you have the wisdom, you have the experience to move through whatever circumstance this is for you personally this week. You already have what you need. So for me, it indicates a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a going within. And of course, with this new moon that we've just come through on Thursday, Friday, we really are probably moving through a phase of introspection. So really just looking within about whatever it is that you're wrestling with, whatever you're feeling, you have less choices, going within and understanding that you really do have everything you need already. You really do have the power. You really do have more choice and more ability in this situation than you realize. You just might need to look from a different perspective. And maybe that perspective is going within, maybe it's a higher perspective. So try some perspective shifts with the situation for you this week. Now, right around the corner, we have a bit of a delay on a new business venture or something to do with our money. So it's a new opportunity coming in, but it might feel a little delayed, or it might feel a little less obvious than we want. So maybe this is back to we're missing a choice. We're not realizing all the choices or all the potential that we have, just because it might be a little bit hidden is maybe not the right way to say it, a little bit below our line of sight. So it just might be something we're just not quite seeing, but doesn't mean that it's not there, because this is a card of potential and opportunity. Now I want to take a look at this one that jumped out. Oh, the Chariot. Okay. So the Chariot, as an additional piece of guidance to this message, just lets us know that while some things might start feeling like they're moving very fast and like they're picking up momentum and things can start flowing, other things are still feeling a little disjointed. It doesn't mean that they're not still forward moving and going in a good direction. It just means that there might be some additional pieces either in our life or externally that need to come all the way to clarity, that more information needs to come out about, that more truths need to come to the surface, that we need to really sit with and be available for additional potentials we might not have been aware of. Another thing that the Chariot card encourages is balance. So really just keeping your focus balanced, meaning looking at the things that are going on in your life, in your circumstance, but also looking, like we talked about, from a different perspective of, is there another angle on this that I might not be seeing? Is there another opportunity coming my way or available to me, or another avenue that I can still pursue, my highest and greatest good, whatever my goal is, whatever my intentions are, that I just might not be seeing, and keeping a balance also. Another thing this card indicates is balance between heart and head. And with this showing us balance, just keeping a balance between our logical mind and also how we feel, our heart center, our intuition. Because some of this, obviously it's a general reading, so it will be a little bit different for all of us. But some of this indicates something just maybe not going our way in the way that we had wanted it, but it's because there's other information that needs to come to surface. And maybe we already, depending on your situation, maybe you already might know what some of this information is, or what some of these choices are, or maybe you don't. Maybe there are more choices still to come to light, but I would expect things to start picking up in some areas, even if they feel a little stagnant or restricted in other areas. So let's just continue with this guidance. I'm going to slide these guys to the side here. And again, already pre-shuffled for you. So these two want to come together. So these are just some additional pieces of guidance. And you guys know we always talk about how we love that they just make so much sense with what we've already talked about. Now, this is you and what you can do in this situation to make it the best outcome for you. And what I love about this is higher ground, higher perspective, right? Those of you that have worked with me before, done any of the free workshops, or in the Goddess Untamed or the Healers course, you guys know how to work with the Rose tool, the Rose technique. So if you know the Rose technique, which is a clearing technique, a focusing technique, you can use that this week. If you don't, that's okay. It's just encouraging us to be in a space of higher perspective, higher ground, remove yourself from the situation. Could be indicated for some of us, going into nature to help process, to help go within for that highest perspective, right? So this is you in the situation. Outside influence in the situation, renewal of peace. I'm really hoping that some of this is on the global scale, and maybe there's some conflict calming down, and maybe there's some renewal of peace to be had. So let's send prayers and good thoughts towards that. Outside influence, renewal of peace. So maybe this is part of what you're not knowing or not seeing yet with this judgment or information that's going to be coming in. Maybe it is this renewal of peace that we're just unaware of. And for some of us, it might be good news from someone in the family, a friend, a close person, about new babies coming into their lives. Just for some of you, that's only for a select few, and you'll know if it's you because you might get some good news from someone. But really just knowing that you truly want peace inside, but so do others in the situation. So there might be just an energy of renewal of peace coming from outside of you that you can pay attention to, that you can harness to help affect change in your own life. Just a couple extra bits of guidance. Leap of faith. I love this card, especially with this Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities around work, around money, around, could be investments, could be lawsuit that's coming closed, could be inheritance, just new opportunities and potentials that you might not be seeing around your finances or things of the material world, leap of faith. So for some of you, a leap of faith will be necessary to move forward and to step into these potentials. That's again where this higher perspective and this going within is really valuable, because that is how you'll know, which leap of faith to take and which leap of faith to leave. And breakthrough. What a beautiful card. This is actually the card that is the cover of this deck. And it is so incredible with these butterflies signifying freedom and release. However, if you look, she's coming out of some dark, stormy water here. And in the work, in the spiritual work, water often represents emotions, and turbulent water or stormy water can indicate coming through some more difficult emotions, recognitions, realizations, but sometimes that's what has to happen for us to gain our breakthrough, right? So this is overall really positive, but it's just a little bit of heads up around the energy maybe not moving as quickly as we wish it would in some areas, but feeling very quick in other areas, some truth needing to come to the surface about conflict that we've been having, disagreements that we've been having, stop-starts that we've been having. And conflict doesn't always have to mean aggression. It can just mean areas where we're not in agreement, or where we're passionately, in our own perspective, not seeing eye to eye with others. So breakthrough is really good news on this. I'm going to move these to the side. And I'm going to this week, pull one message from the spirit world, and I'm going to have it be the message that the spirit world as a whole, so all of our loved ones collectively, what message do they want us to know this week? And I've got pre-shuffled from this James Van Praagh Talking to Heaven deck. And this card is You Are Never Alone, which I love, with this little lighthouse. And I'm going to pull a clarifier for this. Be your best self always. And the cool thing about this is, she is riding on this seahorse, and, you're never alone. So you do have guidance, you do have support from spirit, certainly your own loved ones, and potentially other inspirers that you might not even know, or ancestors that you maybe never met that still are trying to light your way, trying to guide you like a ship in the night, even when you maybe feel separate, even when you're in a little bit of turmoil, even when things don't seem as smooth or at the pace that we would want them to be. You're not alone. And what a powerful message from spirit. And I was just looking at the number of this card. This card is reduced to a 6, which, as we talk about a lot, we're in a 6th year this year. So meaning, rebuild, renewing our foundation, calm after the storm, and be looking for that little nod from spirit, the little hellos from your loved one, the little light from the lighthouse of them on the other side, just sharing their love with us, sharing their kindness with us, sharing their perspective with us. I'm going to pull one final card from this Spirit Animal Oracle deck, Colette Baron Reed, and I haven't shuffled these. These are actually cards I don't normally get to use, but they're so great. I'm going to use them today. I'm going to pull one right out of the center as general guidance. Dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. So that is a little piece of final guidance for us this week with this dog spirit. And you guys know that dogs are loyal, loving, honest, pure-hearted companions. And we're just this week, as things move up and down for us, as truth comes into focus, as new opportunities that we might not realize are available to us come to our attention, or we open our heart to be available for them. The spirit in which we're being invited to greet this week is with the dog spirit, which I just love. Be loyal to what you love. And I love you guys. It is great to be with you this week. Let me know in the comments if things are moving fast for you right now, if things are moving slow for you, or if you're kind of like we described, where certain areas are maybe moving quicker than you are ready for, and certain areas you're feeling a little push-pull or a little stagnation, or you're feeling like there's an opportunity that you just can't quite see through the fog yet, and you're looking for that lighthouse and that guidance. So let me know what of that is true for you, and I will let you know what of that is true for me. It was so good to be with you this week. Wishing you lots of love and blessings, and I will see you very soon.